All right.
4, 3.
All right.
We are live.
I believe we are live right now at this moment. I am waiting for. It says that I am live. Here we are. We are live. Ladies and gentlemen, oh my goodness. Welcome to the first episode of the Steelersbyjoey podcast. We're still working things out. Let me know how things are going. Let me know if you can hear me. You can see me. But I don't know about your end, Amin. On my end, you look amazing on the YouTube stream.
How can I see the chat?
I am on the YouTube stream right now.
Let me go on your stream and mute it.
Yes. And I'm just talking about, I'm pausing the live stream. I'm just going to look at chat as it is. Hello. How's everybody doing? Anyways, guys, let's get right into it. All right, Amin. I don't know if you saw it or not yesterday. Kenny Pickett came in at the start of the second half for the Pittsburgh Steelers. What did you think of that situation? What grade would you give Kenny Pickett for his NFL debut?
I'm going to sit here and I'm going to give him a B+. B+.
B+.
You look at the stat sheet, everyone's going to be like, okay, 3 picks, no passing touchdowns. Everyone's going to F. If you look at the stat sheet, it's an F stat sheet. Because not F, I'd say D. D stat sheet. Because 3 picks in 1 half is not good. But I am going to stand by this. All 3 of those picks could have been avoided. Well, the 3rd pick doesn't count in my books. The Hail Mary. I should okay, it counts as a pick, but meaningless pick in my opinion. The first pick. Let's go back to it. First ever NFL pass. Mitch Trubisky. Yes, if Mitch Trubisky threw that pick, everyone's right. We would have been mad. We would have been more mad at that. I wasn't mad for the Kenny pick. I was kind of like, damn. But first ever pass. Kenny knows how upset the fans are, how upset everyone is that no one's taking shots and stuff. Kenny goes downfield. First ever pass, 50-yard pass. When he threw that, I was so excited while he was in the middle of the air. But then Claypool, as usual, doesn't come down with it. It wasn't a good pass, but Claypool got to the point where he had his hands on the ball. He's brought in to make those catches. That's George Pickens who's making that catch. Claypool hasn't done anything this year. Anything. Except do jet sweeps. And he didn't do much last year either.
Jet sweep to Claypool. Jet sweep to Claypool.
For that first pick, I wasn't that mad about it. And plenty of Hall of Fame caliber quarterbacks have made picks on their first throws. Second pick, okay. That was not good, but look at that. Kenny has the hype of the crowd. He's all hyped. He's marching down the field. He's probably getting cocky, which he was. Everyone's chanting his name. He's doing good. He already had a rushing touchdown then. The game looks like it's in our hands. And he gets out of the pocket. Pocket collapses. Gets out of the pocket. And he's just trying to be him. Just trying to extend the play, which is dumb. But again, he's a rookie. And he throws the ball. It's not like he threw the ball terribly or it went right into Michael Carter's hands. He threw the ball to a point where Pat Ryan jumped up and could have caught it. Give me Travis Kelce, George Kittle, any of those top 5 tight ends. They're catching that ball. Pat Ryan is a top 10 tight end. He should be making that catch. It wasn't a smart decision, but if he made that throw, everyone would oh my God, Pickett's him. Kenny Pickett's him. So I don't think those picks were terrible picks. Yes, the second pick was terrible in the situation, but
I think there's definitely, I agree with you. There's an argument to be made, maybe those picks weren't totally his fault, but at the end of the day, he did throw them. Now, you gave him, a B+?
B+.
A B+. All right. I'm not far off from you. I'm giving him a C. All right.
C.
I'm giving him a C.
That's far off.
A B and a C aren't that far off. But anyways, I digress. I'm giving him a C because I get he was kind of just thrown in. He was just kind of thrown in. I don't think Mike Tomlin went into that game yesterday thinking, you know what? I'm going to put Kenny Pickett in at halftime. Because if you want to look at Mitchell Trubisky's stats from the first half, it was your average Mitchell Trubisky game. We know what Mitch is. He's a fringe starter, career backup, and that's what he's going to be now. He's going to be a backup, whether he's the backup in Pittsburgh for years down the road. We'll see. I mean, he's under contract for one more year after this year. But you throw Kenny Pickett in, and yes, there is no doubt. I can imagine the atmosphere at Heinz Field at Acrisure yesterday. I can imagine the hype. I mean, he had to have had the whole crowd behind him cheering. My boy Steelers humor Parker, he was at the game. He said it was louder than he had ever heard it before. Everybody was excited. It had to have been a once-in-a-lifetime experience, definitely. And he gave us a spark. I mean, he scored 14 points at the end of the day. But those picks, throwing 3 picks in your NFL debut isn't ideal at the end of the day. And that's why I'm kind of, he did really good, but he also threw 3 picks, and we ended up losing the game. Now, the first interception, I was just happy we took a shot down the field, to be perfectly honest with you. And whether or not Claypool should have caught that ball, it's up for debate. Yeah, you can make the argument that Kenny should have let him a little bit more. It looked a little underthrown, but Claypool probably should have made that catch at the end of the day. Now, the second pick, and this was one of my gripes on him coming out of college. I feel like he's on his reads too long. I mean, if you look at it, he stays on that first read. I believe his first read on that was Freiermuth. Or no, not second pick. My bad. His first read on that was Deontay, I believe. Looks at him, looks over at Freiermuth, who's kind of on the sideline. We would have gotten like 1 yard if it was completed anyways. And then he looks back over at Muth after checking Deontay for a second time under pressure. He said after the game that he wanted to float that ball more. He wanted to throw it out of bounds. And he just didn't get it out. So he took the blame for that one. So I'm putting that one on Pickett completely. I don't think that was a good decision. Whether or not he meant to, it just wasn't a good decision end of the day. And the third pick, we can't say anything about the third pick because it was a Hail Mary at the end of the game. He was doing what he did.
I think second pick was terrible decision, not a terrible throw. I don't think it was a terrible throw. Pat Bryant could have came down. He was trying to keep the time running. He was trying to keep the ball in bounds. He was trying to keep the play going, get a yard or 2. Trying to do extra stuff, but again, it was a terrible decision given the circumstances. But again, not a terrible throw. Pat Bryant was coming out of that ball.
Shout out everybody in the chat
players,
here.
Superstar players need to make big plays.
I think Muth and Claypool both should have came down with those balls at the end of the day. But that's why my grade for Kenny Pickett.
Pickens would have came down with both of them.
I think we will get to see the real Kenny Pickett throughout the duration of this season. You give me 13 games with him, I'll be able to tell you exactly what he is.
And I'm excited for those games.
I'm very excited.
Again, the spark you were talking about with Trubisky, there's zero spark. Zero.
I agree.
When you watch him, there's no excitement. Even in that, pardon my voice, dealing with COVID, but in that first game, towards the end of the game, I was more excited to watch the defense and offense. Second game, more excited to watch defense and offense. Third game, same thing. After the first drive today, I was excited when Matt Canada said he changed the play calls. And I was pretty excited, but again, the defense with TJ Watt's much more watchable than this offense. But
everybody, the defense is under a lot of pressure right now. Defense is under a whole lot of pressure.
The defense doesn't do anything.
I mean,
the defense does nothing now. That what?
When you take out the best defensive player in the world, the defense doesn't look as good. Breaking news, guys. I know it's crazy to see, but when you take out TJ Watt, the Steelers aren't half the team they are. What are they now? 0-8 all time without TJ?
No, it's crazy. Everyone says, even I would say it. People are like, dude, our defense has so many stars. Even that, wow, we have Highsmith, Minka, Cam, we do. But honestly, Cam Hayward, people call him a top 2 tackle, but I want to call him a top 2 tackle, but without Watt, has he done much?
I don't know. I mean, clearly the best player on a defense.
A top 2 tackle.
Cam Hayward?
Honestly, I don't think he's a top 2 tackle, and people are going to get upset about that. Now, before with Watt, I think he was.
Who's ahead of him? Who's ahead of him? I'm curious.
Okay, defensive tackle.
Aaron Donald, obviously.
Obviously, let's look at defensive tackles. I guarantee I can name the person better than him. He's very good. He's top 5. Like, don't get me wrong. People are gonna be like, "Oh, he's a Cam Hayward hater." Defensive tackles. Honestly, that's a weaker position right now in the NFL.
I still think he's a tackle. I mean, guys that come
Chris
to mind.
Jones.
He's guys that come to mind, like you're saying, DeForest Buckner, Chris Jones. I don't know. Defensive tackle's a hard position to rank, I think.
Vita Vea.
I love me some Vita Vea. I can't lie. Vita Vea is my guy.
Well, he's top 3 or 4 for sure,
But
again, Cam Hayward, has he had a sack in any of these games out what?
I don't believe so, actually.
Alex Highsmith is. I don't know if he's good. Do you think he's good? He's good, obviously.
I mean,
he's very good.
I think he's all right. Like,
I still think Bud Dupree is better than him with what?
him and TJ are a very good duo.
Highsmith
Oh, yeah. Bud Dupree is a better player than Alex Highsmith. I think if you... No, I agree with that, definitely.
So fun to watch.
Someone said you're acting like Isaiah Loudermilk isn't top 3. That's disrespectful to the milkman. Anyways, but I wanted to talk about, I feel like the fan base is divided right now. Like we kind of have the guys that, oh, Kenny Pickett did wonderful. He can do no wrong. And then we have kind of, guys that are, in the middle. Like, he's all right. I saw PFF reposting, retweeting every social media platform today. It was all over that Pro Football Focus charted Kenny Pickett with 0 turnover-worthy plays. Now, I'll ask you, Amin, do you know what a turnover-worthy play means exactly?
Yes.
All right, well, we obviously know kind of what it means. But my point is, I don't think it's a real stat. When I'm trying to measure who's a better quarterback than who, I am never once going to use turnover-worthy plays.
That's a terrible word.
It's just such an odd thing to measure.
The throw Zach Wilson had, or well, who was it? Was it Zach Wilson? Was Zach Wilson's pick bad?
Zach Wilson's pick to Minka was pretty bad.
I'm talking like usually against the Patriots, Mac Jones, that ball he threw to Cam Sutton, literally in Cam Sutton's hand, Cam Sutton dropped it. Like,
yeah. I
don't feel like Pickett's going to be a player that does that. He doesn't look like that.
I don't know.
Well, the one thing I heard that was good was Mitch, this offensive ceiling does get substantially higher with Pickett. The floor does become lower.
I agree.
Trubisky, he wouldn't make turnovers. That's one thing good about him.
I will be honest, guys.
Throw many picks.
I don't know how healthy Buffalo's defense is going to be for this weekend, but I wouldn't be surprised if we went out there and scored like 10 points. Like that wouldn't be a shock to me at all. I'm serious. Buffalo's defense, probably the best in the league when fully healthy. I don't know how healthy they are. I know they've been dealing with a lot of injuries on both sides of the ball.
That's valid.
But I think we have to temper our expectations here. Everybody's excited for Kenny Pickett. These next 4 games are no cakewalk. It's going to be a rough introduction to the NFL for him.
Gabe Davis, Ed Oliver, Mitch Morse. They might be out. Let's see who else. There's some, Buffalo might not be very healthy against us. They are dealing with injuries.
But I don't know. At the end of the day, they have Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. And that'll win you some football games, especially against a defense. I don't know how healthy Akello is.
Akello Witherspoon, CB1. Akello's locking up Diggs.
I know that's your boy, Akello Witherspoon. Great guy. His father's a great guy. A friend of the podcast, actually. A friend of me and Amin. Shout out J. Lucky Witherspoon. Oh, my goodness. But anyways, I wanted to get your opinion on a take I have here. All right. I think that Mike Tomlin completely botched this situation with Mitch Trubisky and Kenny Pickett. I thought it was ugly the way he did it. Like I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I don't think there's any way that Mike Tomlin went into that game yesterday thinking, I am going to throw Kenny Pickett in in the second half. And you can say, oh, he doesn't need to have that plan. I think we played on Thursday the prior week. He had 10 days to get Kenny Pickett first team reps. And I don't think he did one day in practice.
No, Kenny said, he's like, I had no idea what's going in. He was like, no, Tomlin made it not give me any signs I would be going in all week. That's just bad. Like, Kenny was thrown out in the fire, and he still performed, whether you like it or not. I'm gonna say Kenny Pickett performed. When I look at that game, I'm saying he performed.
I think given the situation that he was thrown into, and as poor as this offense is, and as poor as the offensive coordinator is, he performed. But I can't say that I'm overly impressed by anything. I'm just not. I don't know if that's crazy.
I got what I expected out of Pickett. And I had high expectations. Not high, but I had good. I had expectations that he'd turn around this offense and could be capable of winning a game. And I think he showed us that he's capable of winning us games.
I think he's more capable of winning us games. I agree. The ceiling is higher, but I don't think it's as high as people think. I know. How do I want to say this?
Trubisky, I think over the 3.5 games that he played, I think he was responsible for 1 touchdown overall. Was it 1 or 2? It was like 1 or 2 touchdowns overall.
I believe
I know the stat I heard. And Pickett already had 2.
2 rushing touchdowns, one set up by the great Minkah Fitzpatrick,
and he's
the future
fast too.
defensive player of the year. Pickett is fast. I was taken away by how fast he was, honestly. Like he was, I don't know. I don't know if it's because I'm just used to watching 30-plus-year-old Big Ben running around and not being able to outrun anybody on the field. But Pickett looked quick, and it was refreshing. I got to be honest.
Oh, it was nice. So, our offense is not used to that. We're not used to that. We watch other teams. It's so fun watching them. I mean, I look damn, I wish I had a quarterback like that. Pickett,
I'm waiting.
I feel like Pickett can be like Justin Herbert. And I think he can be like him. Like
the great Justin Herbert. Wow. Did
Justin Herbert win his first game when he got put on the Chargers?
No, he did not. He played the Chiefs. He lost on
the Chiefs?
Yeah, he lost on a last-second field goal, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, was that overtime? I'm gonna search his stats in his first ever game. I don't think it was different.
You don't think it was much different? I think it was very different. I think Herbert went in there and threw 3 touchdowns. I'm serious. I don't know for certain, but that wouldn't surprise me. That's a Justin Herbert stat line.
Let me see. 2020. He came in and never mind. Never mind. 311 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick.
300 yards.
Never mind.
My goodness. I mean, granted, he had a full game. Kenny had a half.
1 rushing touchdown.
Whatever.
Hey, Kenny, how much did Kenny throw for?
110, I believe. But
that's good, dude. For 1 half,
that is
really good.
He was 10 of 13 too. He was very accurate, but when he didn't complete a pass, it was intercepted. That's the issue that we're dealing with, I guess. And I think it's interesting to see what the offense will look like against Buffalo. Like I said, in my opinion, have the best defense in the league. I don't think it's really close.
Did you hear him talk afterwards, Kenny?
I did not.
The way he talked, though, it made me actually it gave me closure after the game. When Mitch had spoken, he had no closure. Honestly, when I hear Tom, I don't watch Tomlin's press conferences afterwards. Always the same thing. We have to execute. Our plan didn't work out. I can't tell you guys anything else. Tomlin's so boring to watch. But Pickett was promising. He was like, I'm pissed off. That gave me a taste of the NFL. I want to win more than anything now. I'm going to show everyone. He's something like that. But it was good. The way he talks. Have you heard Mac Jones? Remember his first press conferences was terrible.
Oh, my goodness.
Pickett, you got to look at it afterwards. His is good. I feel like he's going to be a superstar.
I hope he is, I really, really hope he is. I think that Kenny Pickett...
I'm worried about Najee Harris, honestly.
I'm worried. I was going to segue into that. Someone in chat mentioned thoughts on Jaylen Warren. And I'll be honest, Jaylen Warren looks like a breath of fresh air. I'll be honest. I think you see Najee, and we kind of know what Najee is. He's kind of a power back. I feel like he's kind of expecting that the holes aren't going to be there. The offensive line hasn't been bad for what they are, I don't think, at any point during this year. But I don't think we can sit here and say they've been good. I think Najee's still averaging sub 4 yards a carry, which isn't good, but that's kind of been the theme of his career. He's inefficient. And Jaylen Warren comes in, and he'll like break off like a 7-8 yard run, and you're like, oh my goodness, this guy, I like this guy.
No, he's good. I think Najee, like, he looks slower for sure. Maybe it's that foot injury, but I don't know. I'm a bit nervous. Starting to get a bit nervous.
Liz Frank injuries bother you for like the whole year.
Yeah.
They're so tough.
And we got to think about it when Calvin Austin comes back in. Again, it's another like fresh air to our offense. I think when TJ comes back, when Calvin Austin comes back, we're going to go on a little win streak, and then everyone's going to be like, okay, we can relax. Just TJ's got to come back soon, dude. It's crazy when you watch our defense, though. Without TJ, just like it feels so different.
It does. It's night and day difference. I'm just
not good.
I'm dying to see some Benny Snell football. Malik Reed.
What has Malik Reed done? Nothing.
Malik Reed has done nothing. Everybody always does that.
People are like, he's so good. Look at him. He had this many sacks.
They always hype up. They always got to hype up like the 6th round pick.
Tortured Big Ben. We always get players like Levi Wallace, tortured Big Ben. Malik Reed, like, what is it? Levi Wallace has been very. I mean, quarterbacks haven't thrown to him much. I guess it's a good thing. Let's use PFF stat.
Oh, we're bringing in PFF. PFF is only good, guys. That's the theme of the show. PFF is only good when it fits your narrative. Malik Reed?
Levi Wallace.
Oh, my goodness. I mean, I think the issue was
57.
Honestly, the issue yesterday was that Akella was out, and Cam Sutton had to stay outside. That's why I was always kind of confused why we re-signed Cam Sutton over Mike Hilton back in, what was that, 2020?
Cam Sutton always gets a pick, too. Like, at these games, after playing like shit, he always like makes one good play, and everyone's like, nah, he's good.
He always does get a pick, it seems like. And it seems like it comes...
Cam Sutton is a 70 PFF rating, better than any cornerback we have.
Shout out Cam Sutton and PFF. 70 PFF rating for Cam Sutton. What a guy. But I think that was part of the issue yesterday, was just at the end of the game, Cam Sutton got that pick late in the game. He finally held on to an interception. Good for him. And, you know, Minka went down for a play. I don't know what that was. I was losing my mind when he went down, obviously, but he came back in after a play. Then he came back in, and then Cam went down.
You know, on that drive before the Jets won another first touchdown, Arthur Mallette dropped a pick in his hands. No one talks about that. I just realized that right now. Did you see that?
I did see that.
We were all so happy and drunk off Kenny Pickett. I'm just so happy. Everyone was so happy about Kenny Pickett that everyone just completely disregarded it. Mallett dropped an easy interception right in his hands.
That's another thing I think Kenny Pickett does. You go ahead.
Which I told you was on that last drive. I don't know what any of you thought. Say it in the chat if you saw it. But the Jets had a ball where they caught, where it was ruled a catch, and like they quickly showed the review, and the ball touched the ground. The announcers didn't say shit about it. No one said anything about it, and the game went off because they immediately snapped the ball. There was no review. I was like, yeah, it's not a catch, not a catch. But it was like a 25-yard pass, too. Like a 20-yard big play.
Yep.
No one reviewed it. I want to see my crazy, or anyone else see it?
No, I saw it. It ended up costing us the game. It really did, because they didn't even show a replay on the broadcast until the next play had been snapped, and it was already in motion. They couldn't do anything about it. They kind of... How
can you see old games though? No one talked about that.
NFL Game Pass. NFL Game Pass. But here's the thing.
Who actually buys that?
Here's the thing about NFL Game Pass. It doesn't work when you want it to work, and it's very expensive. It's a very expensive investment for something that isn't very good. In chat, if any of you have NFL Game Pass, your experiences, because I've heard nothing but bad things about NFL Game Pass. I,
Yeah, no, I can't find it.
I'm very lucky
Kenny
that I'm
Pickett is
local.
just like very, very attractive, like overall, not like looks wise, just like attractive QB.
Okay, I mean, I see what you're saying. I see it. But no, I agree. I think Kenny Pickett, I think that's one of the things that he does for the team this year. Obviously, we're not very good. Deontay Johnson said post-game that it's a rebuilding year. And, the
That
old
was
Mike
bad.
Tomlin
I didn't like
saying,
they said that.
we don't rebuild, we reload.
We
So I don't think that's happening this year, guys. I mean, how many wins are we seeing for the Steelers? I think me and Amin will talk about that next. But I think it says something that Deontay's like, yeah, it's a rebuilding year. Who cares? And I think Kenny Pickett, that'll help him in the sense nobody's going to really judge him based off this year. If we end up with 3 or 4 wins, I think we'll end up with more than that. I hope at least. It's going to be a long year if we lose 14 games. But I think Kenny Pickett brings a sense of excitement to the fan base that keeps us watching the games. I think he's going to sell tickets at the end of the day.
For like 3 and like 10, like 2 and like 9. At that point, like, what do we do? Honestly, I've never watched that. Like, I'm being serious. What do we do?
I don't know. Genuinely, I've never
handle
seen
it.
that.
We won't
I've
know
never
how to
seen it.
handle it.
It's gonna be
You know that one Bengals TikToker, the one who gritties, the one with terrible camera. He's like super pale.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that guy. He like made a post today. He's like, "Screw you, Steelers fans! You guys you're gonna go losing season. Hop on the boat. You're gonna know what it feels like to be a poverty franchise." But like, we're not gonna go 1-16 hopefully. But if we do, like, what? I don't know how to respond. I'm not gonna know what to do.
There was an Offsides NFL post from the offseason, and I've been trying to find it all down Instagram. I don't know if anybody can find it. You follow Offsides NFL on Instagram, right? I mean,
the Steelers fan.
They do. Yeah, Alec is a good guy. Alec is the guy that runs it. Alec's a great guy. Follow them if you aren't already. But anyways, they do like follower hot takes every week, and it's always good, always an entertaining post. But they have one in particular. I want to say it was like from way back in May. And like one of the hot takes was the Steelers get the first overall draft pick. I want to find that. I haven't been able to all day. If anyone can find it,
do though. Like I can't
that would be
it's gonna be a top 5 pick. I
like,
never like imagine that.
What are the odds on that? That guy's got to buy a lotto ticket. I don't condone gambling here, but that guy, oh my goodness. First overall pick. I don't think
we get Will Anderson.
I don't think we'll be that bad. But here's the thing.
Last year though, let's think about it. Last year probably we looked worse than we did right now. We were 1-3 last year with aging Big Ben, and we had TJ Watt in all those games. We went 1-3. Like right now, at least we have a new quarterback. We have a rookie quarterback, Kenny Pickett, and we have players like TJ Watt who are going to come back, and we have Calvin Austin who knows what he's going to do. But like we still have like hope. Last year when we were 1-3, there wasn't much to be hopeful around, but and we turned it around. But again, our schedule was much easier.
So do you think this team this year is better than last year's team?
It's better, but like last year, the thing about last week, we had veterans. Joe Hayden, Big Ben. Like we had veterans, and I think last year we just used up all the luck football gods gave us to give Big Ben a good farewell, and we have no luck left. We used every bit of that luck in that first Bengals game. Now we are done. We are cooked.
I think it was close. I think no, we deserve to beat the Bengals. That we deserve to beat the Bengals. If we didn't win that game, and now we're sitting here at 0-4, we'd be having a totally different discussion, I think. But realistically,
what do we talk about now? We talk about like fire Tomlin. I don't even know what we talk about.
I don't know. Like I've seen a lot of anti-Tomlin posts. People are mad at Tomlin. I don't like how he handled the quarterback situation, obviously, but I don't think by any means he deserves to be fired. Everybody loves a stat. Oh, he has no losing seasons. And I know it's kind of corny to say, oh, well, he has no losing seasons. We can't. But at the end of the day, you don't fire Mike Tomlin, and I don't think he ever will be fired.
No, he won't ever be fired.
If Mike Tomlin ever gets fired, he will have another job by the time the Adam Schefter tweet hits Twitter that he's been fired. It'll be that quick. He's that well respected, and he's that good of a coach.
That's true.
But anyways.
How many wins are we looking at?
How many wins do you think we're going to get this year? I mean, How many wins?
I'm always gonna like. Okay, as I say this, like always a part of me can never like go against us. And even when I think we lose a game, we're gonna lose a game. I'm gonna make the prediction that like we win, but I'm gonna be like, okay, my real prediction is so like the hopeful prediction is we're gonna win. Let's look at our schedule. So
Oh, it's not fun.
everyone's seen it.
It's not
The
fun.
Bills, Bucks, Dolphins, Eagles. We've all seen it. I
Yikes.
think that we will win 2 of them. Honestly, 2 of them.
Whoa.
We'll win 2 of them. I don't know which ones. I think they'll be the
Whoa.
ones that we don't expect. I think we'll beat the Bucks and we'll beat the Dolphins.
Whoa. Okay.
I think we're gonna go 2-2.
We're going to beat the Bucks
And
and the
then-
Dolphins. Interesting.
I think the Saints afterwards will beat them. And yeah, no, I don't see the Saints beating us. And then the Bengals after that, we're gonna lose second time. It's gonna be hard to win against the Bengals twice, especially when they're wearing their white uniforms. They're all pissed off, probably like on a hot streak. We're gonna lose to them, so we'll that put us at. Put us at.
I think you have us at
That would
4
put us
and
at 4 and
Four.
6.
I think you have us at 4 and 6 at this point. Yeah.
4 and 6, and then we play the Colts after that. We'd win that 5 and 6. We play the Falcons after that, and we'll win that 6 and 6. We play the Ravens. We're beating the Ravens. I'm not going to elaborate. 7 and 6. We're going to beat the Panthers after that. 8 and 6. Raiders after that. 9 and 6. We're sweeping the Ravens. 10 and 6. And we're going to lose to the Browns. Actually, no. We're going to split the Ravens. So we're going to beat the Browns last game. So we're going to go. What is that? 10 and 7. I
So,
see that happening.
so you are still on the Steelers are gonna make a push for a playoff spot side of the argument.
With all my hope, I think so.
Whew. I
I
mean,
think even as pissed off as I am now, and I'll call them the worst team in the NFL out of rage, I think when TJ comes back, we're going to be good.
you know,
When
I
TJ
mean,
comes back, Calvin Austin. Listen, the thing is, Kenny Pickett, we don't know what's going to happen. He could be terrible. This could have been a fluke, and he could be terrible, and we could go 1 and like 16. Or he could actually be really good. Like, we don't know. I think 10-7. Or no, realistically 9 and 8. I think one of those games we should win, we're going to lose. But I do think we're going 2-2 next 4 games.
so we're saying 2 and 2 next 4 games. I think
2-2.
I hope that you're right, Amin. Genuinely. I would love to see this team miraculously turn it around. Kenny Pickett leads us to the promised land, to the playoffs, 10-win season. What a story that would be. What a story.
I think next week, honestly, surprisingly, to everyone's surprisingly, we're going to have a better game on offense than on defense. And then it could be like game. They have a crazy defense. Like, I feel like our defense will get completely killed by their offense, and we're actually going to do good on offense. Because they're not going to know what to expect from this new offense.
That's one thing I want to touch on, like at the end of the podcast, just what do we expect? But anyways, all right, I'm going to go through the schedule here. So we're 1 and 3 right now. That is very apparent to everybody. We have Buffalo. I don't think there is a shot that we beat Buffalo.
No.
I hope that I am wrong. Imagine the hype if Kenny Pickett goes into Buffalo and beats the Buffalo Bills. That would be absurd. But unfortunately, it's nice to talk about. I don't think there's any chance it's going to happen. Bills opened up as 14-point favorites. I think that line only gets increased throughout the week.
14.
14 is pretty unheard of. That might happen like once a year in the NFL. It doesn't look good. I don't know. But say what you want. All right, I'm counting Buffalo as an L. So we're 1 and 4, right? Then we go to Tampa Bay. I don't know what to think of this game. I don't think the Buccaneers are very good, quite honestly. They got demolished by the Chiefs.
I think the narrative that we'll hear is Kenny Pickett somehow beats Tom Brady.
I am going to say that
Imagine
Kenny
Pickett beats Tom Brady
in his first home game beats Tom Brady in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Yinzer in me is coming out. I'm going to predict a win against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I've been making the joke on my page since like May that we're going to lose to the Jets and beat the Buccaneers. And I have half of that correct. I just need the other thing, and I can talk about it forever. It is the most Steelers thing ever for us to lose to the Jets and beat the Buccaneers. We all know it's going to happen. We know we're going to lose to a team we probably shouldn't have. Maybe that's the Jets. I think the Jets aren't terrible, but, a team we should probably still beat at the end of the day.
And think about it. We beat the Bucks at home.
It's a momentum shift
on fire that night.
And then Miami. I don't know how long Tua is out.
I'm calling that game a dub. We're beating Miami.
I think it really depends. I don't know. I'm gonna count that one as an L right there. Quite honestly,
Brian Flores is gonna do the most.
I worry.
The homework he's ever gonna do. Put up
a
game plan.
Brian Flores does have a vendetta against Tua Tagovailoa. He really does. If Tua's playing, I don't know if he is. Obviously, he's not playing this week. But Philadelphia, I think Philadelphia is great. I mean, I love everything. I don't know how far they're going to go in the playoffs or anything. I mean, Philadelphia, to me, they kind of give me, they're going to get a 1 seed and they're going to get bounced in the divisional. That's the kind of vibes I'm getting from Philadelphia this year. But I'm counting that as an L. I think it's in Philadelphia. It's going to be a tough one for us. I think the Eagles' defense is great. I think Jalen Hurts is electric. I don't see a way we win that. And then we're going into the bye week. What are we? 2-6. 2-6 out of the bye. That's not good.
We'd be
we'd be 2-6. All right. New Orleans and Cincinnati. I think we go 1-1 in these games. If we sweep the Bengals, I'm going to get incredibly disrespectful. I don't care if we win a game the rest of the season. As long as we can sweep Joe Burrow and the Bengals, that would just make me about the happiest man alive. I tell you what, I couldn't think of anything better than sweeping Joe Burrow and the Bengals. All I heard was about how their offensive line has improved last offseason. That's all I heard. And we go out there and we dominate them. We should have won that game by 10 points easily. 10 plus easily. But at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know.
I think it's hard to imagine that we're going to beat the Bengals twice. But
I don't think the Saints are. I'm going to say we beat New Orleans, but we lose to Cincinnati. So what I have is at 3 wins. I think we'll beat both Indianapolis and Atlanta. I think we'll beat both of those teams. I think we're going a little bit win streak. In fact, I think we beat the Ravens the first time in Carolina. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4 wins in a row. We're looking at 6 wins. Then we go to Las Vegas Christmas. I worry about that game, honestly. I think Vegas matches up with it very well. I don't know that we have a corner, all due respect to Akella Witherspoon, that can keep up with Devontae Adams. They've just got so many ways they can hit you. Josh Jacobs is no joke this year. He's been balling out, quite honestly. Darren Waller, Hunter Renfrow, even that Mac Hollins guy, he's been good. I didn't even know who Mac Hollins was until 2 weeks ago, but he's been balling. So Christmas Eve, man, it hurts me to say, I don't know. I don't want my Christmas to be ruined by.
I'm going to be at that game. If we lose that game, I am getting.
I don't want my Christmas to be ruined.
Christmas watching the Steelers lose to the Raiders in person.
Oh my goodness.
Not going to be happy.
And then, you know what? I'm going to say we win. But Baltimore and Cleveland, I'm counting them both at L's. So what did I get? 7 wins? I think I don't even hate your prediction at this point. Like, I feel like we're being overly optimistic at this point, but we get TJ back, completely different team. Kenny Pickett,
TJ, we killed the Bengals. We should have killed the Bengals. I feel like if we had TJ and we had this new offense, then
I think it's a losing season for Mike Tomlin, but I think he somehow salvages it here and gives us a glimpse of hope going into next year. And 7 wins, I don't know what draft pick that might get you still, because so many teams are good in the AFC. That there are a lot of good teams in the AFC.
That's true.
I think we'll be picking early. I don't know about top. I don't know. But
12, 13.
I think if the Pittsburgh Steelers, if the ship is sunk and it gets bad, 4 games and we get a top 10 pick, we will have had 13 games of Kenny Pickett at that point. I mean, where do you go? Because this year's draft is going to have. Okay. this draft is going to
For
have
what we think
probably
won't
4 or
matter
5
'cause-
first-round quarterbacks. You know it will.
Yeah, but like what we think does not matter. We're staying with Kenny Pickett. We know that for the next 4 years. Again, like Daniel Jones.
It's
Like we're
the-
having
it's the
Kenny Pickett is our quarterback.
I believe we were talking about this yesterday on the live. It's the Steeler
Honestly,
way.
We haven't even seen this way happen since Ben, and why would we bench Ben? But like we already know, like as a Steelers fan, we know our organization won't. It's kind of sad. Like we know we're sticking with them.
We will. Really will stick with him. But I don't know. I mean, just Bryce Young, CJ Stroud, if they're there, you know the narrative will be there. It doesn't matter what we know the Steelers. We ultimately know they probably won't give up on Kenny Pickett after 1 year, but the narrative is going to be there. And I think people need to accept that. It's going to be there. So what are we saying?
Well,
7 wins for the Steelers, guys? 7 wins. Is that a fair guess? Tomlin would draft Joey Porter Jr. That is the most Mike Tomlin thing to do, quite honestly, is draft Joey Porter Jr. He's always drafting brothers of play. You know, he's drafted Cam Hayward's little brother. You know,
Connor Hayward doesn't exist in this offense.
Connor Hayward, I don't think he's done anything on offense. Has he gotten a snap? I genuinely don't think so.
He doesn't exist.
I don't think he's been good, obviously. But Browns aren't sweeping us. I'm sorry. I don't know. Deshaun Watson gets back. That Browns team is good. I'm sorry. They're good. I hate it. I really hate it. But they're still good. And it's rough. It's rough to see. I don't know. Whew.
Yeah.
My goodness. I want to answer some questions from chat here. Parker Manning in the chat. Shout out Parker. If Kenny's in the first Bengal game, it by 2 touchdowns.
Parker in a while.
As the GOAT Stiller gang would say, regular season prediction 13-4. 13-4, everybody. Oh, my goodness. All right, so, I mean, I got to ask, how did you get started on Instagram? We know. How many followers are you at? 6,300, I believe. I believe you have a little bit more than me. I believe you started with...
It's 6,300. I started my page the very morning after we got killed by the Browns. Did I know the day before? Did I even think about making a page? No. That morning, I specifically remember being pissed off. I was probably crying in the morning. No, I wasn't crying. I was just in you. I wasn't crying, but I was very sad, and I woke up for online class. And I was in history class in this very seat, and I was just absolutely depressed. I want to express my thoughts. I'm gonna make a Steelers page and connect with people. And then I made Steelers Landing. No motive beyond the name. Landing, why not? I searched up names, and then I found Falcons Landing, which actually makes sense. And I was like, you know what? Screw it, Steelers Landing. So
there is no. That was going to be my follow-up question. There is no reason why it's called Steelers Landing. There's nothing behind that.
The Falcons Landing page. I wonder if it exists still. Falcons Landing.
Falcons Landing. Shout out Falcons Landing. You inspired a means page. Anyways,
my God,
that was.
That's how we start. What about you, Joey?
You know, I started my page, I believe, late February of 2021. It was after the Browns loss. And you know, my boy Parker, he posts similar content to me. You know, he's a pretty funny guy. Shout out Parker if he's still in here. But more or less, I just kind of posted my own thing. I really like going live. That's why I'm doing what I'm doing right here now. I like going live. I like interacting with the chat. You know, just spewing some takes. You know, me and Amin, we always love to talk some Steelers. So that's what we're doing right now, and I'm enjoying it right now.
We're much more civilized and much more calm now that like it's not after a game.
You know, I've had
after
the game, post-game lives are tough. I tell you what, because you got people from the opposite fan base coming in to tell you that you're terrible, and it's rough, guys. Everybody's on you. I mean, everybody, like we mentioned earlier, everybody was drunk off Kenny Pickett yesterday. We didn't know what to think. There wasn't a single coherent thought anywhere on Steelers Instagram.
No, I thought for sure we were winning that game. post game. Look at all the Kenny Pickett stand posts. I was so happy. And then they get the ball back. My dad's like, "We're gonna lose." I'm like, "No. We're winning. We have Kenny Pickett. Our defense is performing. We have Kenny Pickett. Okay." We got scored on. I'm like, "Shit." And I'm like, "Wait, 16
Joey,
seconds.
final
Kenny
record
Pickett's gonna do
prediction.
magic."
Final record prediction. I hate 7-10. 7-10. That's what I'm saying here right now. End of week 4, going into week 5. We're 1-3. I'm saying 7-10. I think it gets turned around and almost salvaged a little bit. I still think it's a losing season. I don't think it's very pretty. I think we go on a little win streak the last quarter of the season. You know, we get some games in December. Mike Tomlin says we will unleash hell in December because we have to. But at the end of December, I think things fall apart a little bit. 7-10 right now. And it's fluctuating. I games, you know, depending on how I'm feeling week to week basis. But, you know, we'll see. All right. If we're the GM, what are we doing this offseason to take us to the promised land next year?
I hadn't even thought about that. Like, what would you say our holes are?
Because I
see cornerback.
I think the team overall, this is, of course, assuming Kenny Pickett is the guy. I think it's a pretty solid team. It's just very young. We're one of the youngest rosters in the NFL.
But look at the defensive line.
I think that's what I was going to say. I was going to say D-line, corner, and we already have the most expensive defense. I think the offensive line, I mean, Dan Moore's been
for sure.
Dan Moore's been okay. Chucks has been, you know, good. He's under contract. Mason Cole's under contract. He's been fine. Kevin Dotson's
Daniel's been good.
James Daniels been good. You know, I think the biggest hole on that offensive line is Kevin Dotson. And I know he's a fan favorite and people love him. Shout out Kevin Dotson. But I think he's probably the weakest link on the team. I think Kevin Dotson. And then, I mean, I'll be nitpicking here, but the D-line, I think the corners are bad. I think we draft a corner first round. I really think.
But we're not going to do good. We don't ever draft good corners.
You can't worry about the history. We love Artie Burns on this podcast. Anytime I can mention Artie Burns, I will. Shout out that guy. I would love to have Artie Burns on the podcast one time. At best, we lose wild card.
I think the weakest link is probably
Kevin Dotson.
Right. Probably,
that's what I'm saying. Kevin Dotson, weakest link on the team, in my opinion. I don't know. I have a growing hatred for Cam Sutton. I really don't like Cam Sutton, guys. I will be honest. I don't know. He's more of a slot corner, and we try to play him outside, and I just think it doesn't work. I don't know. I think Brian Flores should be our defensive coordinator. If he doesn't get another head coaching job, I think he should be the defensive coordinator next season.
For sure.
Minka was saying that the reason there's a lack of, you know, different play calling on the defense. He said that post game. I believe somebody commented it. I believe it was Darian. He was talking about it earlier. Yeah, he was actually. He was talking about how Minka said that there's a lack of different play calling. They're kind of just staying in base defense most of the time, which you can say that that's because TJ was out. But I think Brian Flores, his fingerprints are all over the defense. Devin Bush, as much hate as Devin Bush got last offseason, he is playing good football now. He's doing things. Miles Jack, I think, covers a lot of the things that Devin Bush doesn't do well, and I think they actually complement each other very well. Now, Devin Bush, I don't know if he'll be on the team next year, quite honestly. We didn't pick up his 5th year.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I'll be on the team next year.
I can see him signing a 1-year deal.
Maybe a 1-year cheat. Terrell Edmonds isn't under contract, too. That's another thing. I think he might stay, though. I don't know.
Next year, the cornerbacks are...
Let's see.
Sutton's a free agent.
Really?
Jones, James Bradbury, Bradley Roby, Marcus Peters, Troy Hill, Eli Apple.
Artie Burns is a free agent next year?
No, not many good receivers.
Artie
corners.
is a free agent. Omar Khan.
And
Omar Khan. If
Omar
you
Khan?
are on this, Omar Khan, bring me Artie Burns for 1 year. Just amuse me, man. Give him like a cheap vets minimum. Bring him back to the Berg. I would be the happiest man alive. I would be able to post about that forever. Everybody would love that. Marcus Peters and dude, and the guys you're listing off, they're a lot older guys. There's no way we pay for a top safety. No way. Let me know defensive line, but
Javon Hargrave's oh my god, if we had Javon Hargrave back, he's a free agent.
I believe we paid Bud Dupree over Javon Hargrave, didn't we? That 1 year.
We should have paid Javon.
Javon's good. That Eagles defensive line, that's another thing. That Eagles game, I think, is going to be rough for us. I mean, Jordan Davis, Fletcher Cox, all those guys, Javon Hargrave, it's not going to be an easy time.
See offensive lines next year.
Offensive line, I really don't think it's as bad as people think, like I said.
Orlando Brown, Jack Conklin, Mitch Morse, Rodney Hudson.
Those are some.
Now, I don't think offensive line is big. As I said, I think we can spend maybe a third-round pick on a guard. Or second-round pick on a guard. But like,
so you want to do the Kendrick Green experiment again?
But we actually play him at guard, not center.
But I think
Cole is good though. Like we should keep him for long. He's actually really good.
I've been impressed with Mason Cole, quite honestly. I did not think much of him when we signed him, but I've been impressed with him so far.
And James Daniels is actually pretty good too.
James Daniels has been pretty damn good as well.
Yes, they're gonna give like holes and stuff, but it's a lot better than like last year. Every play would be like broken pocket. Broken pocket, yeah.
I think right now it's gotta be corner first round. I know everybody loves Keely Ringo, the corner from Georgia. He's a physical player. He had that pick 6 to seal the national championship against Alabama last year. And I think right now, if we're picking like middle of the pack and he's there, I think he's got to be the pick at this point. I think that's the biggest hole on your defense. I'm very excited to see how Omar Khan attacks free agency this year. I'm very, very excited because I like a lot of what Omar Khan does in the sense that he doesn't wait around to get contracts done like Kevin Colbert did. He kind of negotiates.
So annoying.
He doesn't negotiate during season, and there was a time frame, and we had the TJ Watt situation last year before he got paid where he was holding in. Minka had that this year, but it was never there was never any worry, I don't think. Like, I think Omar Khan lets them know that he is going to sign them. That is his number one priority, to sign his studs, and I like that, honestly.
He's a good GM. I'm happy with him.
Shout out
Brandon Joseph from Notre Dame. Do you know him? I don't know college football that well.
Brandon Joseph from Notre Dame. I don't know much about Notre Dame football, I will be honest. Steeler Way is drafting an edge first round. Oh yeah. Like we've been saying, guys, if this ship sinks and we're picking like top 5, we're getting Will Anderson. If we have Will Anderson and TJ Watt, I don't think people understand. We are not losing a football game ever again. Will Anderson and TJ Watt is going to be absurd. Absurd.
He's an Alabama player, right?
Will Anderson, and I think him and TJ Watt kind of complement each other. They're kind of different. TJ Watt is just a big finesse move guy, and he'll beat you off the edge. And Will Anderson just runs through people. He's like a running back, but he plays edge rusher. He'll run over your tackle, and then he'll run over your quarterback, too. I think they complement each other very well. I like that take, honestly. Will Anderson reminds me a lot of Micah Parsons. If he, I like that. If he could cover too, oh my goodness. It's all speculations and dreams at this point.
Highsmith has been good, but like think about Highsmith, Will Anderson, and TJ Watt. One of them is the second put in Highsmith. But again, Highsmith, people overrate him.
I think he's a solid okay player. Like we're saying when TJ's gone, we aren't getting much pressure at all. Like, I think what has Highsmith had 1 sack since TJ's gone out?
He had like 3 yesterday, though. Like, yesterday, honestly. But the thing about Highsmith is, like, when he gets his sacks or, like, his pressures, like, he's about to get sacked, That's like very, very occasional. TJ is like almost every play TJ has a chance.
TJ, every play he's making an impact. Every single play. And that's why he's so valuable. He's the best defensive player on the planet, like we've been
All I
saying.
hope is, because like it's really important as Pex for like what he does. You don't even affected, will he? You think so? Very affected? Hopefully not. But he's just so good.
All
My
right.
team is actually so bad about him. It's sad.
All right, guys. What do we think is going to happen this Sunday against the Buffalo Bills? What do we expect? What are some things? How do you think the game's going to play out? I mean,
Well, McKeezy here is chat. How do I think the game will play now? Okay. I think we're gonna honestly, I don't think we'll win the game, but just like the Packers game last year where we came out first play, like got a 50-yard pass to Deontay. I think we're gonna start really good, and we will lose by the end, but I think we're gonna do good. We're gonna like surprise a lot of people. I think Kenny Pickett will show out. I think it'll be our defense that loses the game.
you think it will be the defense that loses the game without TJ? I think that's what lost us the game. At the end of the day, yesterday too. I think that lost us the game. I think the defense has been more to blame than the offense. Honestly, the defense needs to carry us in these situations. Honestly, but I think Buffalo. I know I was talking about how the offensive line has been playing good for what it is, but I think it will be a long day for the offensive line come Sunday. I think the strongest part of the Buffalo Bills is their defensive line. They have about eight people deep at D tackle and D end. They just are constantly rotating in and out on second and third downs every other drive. They're constantly getting fresh bodies in there. They got Greg Rousseau, Carlos Basham, Ed Oliver, just a bunch of different guys they're throwing at you that were all high draft picks. Buffalo has spent a lot of their recent high first draft picks on these D tackles, and it's paying off. They you saw how they were able to stop Derrick Henry. I believe hold him to like 25 yards week 2. I think it's going to be another slow day for Najee. Go figure. And I just think at the end of the day, I don't think we're going to be able to move the ball really at all on this team. If we're going to have to rely on the passing game.
Najee is not going to 4 games.
It's going to be he's under a lot of pressure right now too.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough going for him.
Yeah. Against the Bills, not going to do much. Bucks, Vita Vea, who else?
Vita Vea, I mean, Shaq Barrett, they're tough all around. Their linebackers are very good too. They just have a solid defense. Miami defense.
Dude,
Melvin Ingram, Steelers legend. AFC Defensive Player of the Month. Ridiculous that Minka Fitzpatrick didn't get it. Hopefully he gets it for October. He's off to a hot start. Leading the NFL in picks, tied with Marcus Williams. Fun fact, Defensive Player of the Year
really?
incoming for him. Yes.
With how many
He's
picks?
tied for 3.
Oh.
3 in 4
How many
games.
sacks does Micah Parsons have?
I don't know. But I think Highsmith got one yesterday, so I believe he's it.
Highsmith is the most though. Highsmith at 5.5. That's
Alex Highsmith. That's crazy. He has the most because he had like 3.5 week 1. I mean, we're looking at guys. The sack leader is Alex Highsmith. TJ Watt is going to miss 4 games, and he is still going to end up leading the NFL in sacks. That's absurd. That just.
You think 4 games?
I think he comes back in 4 games. I mean, last week he's doing the arm circles. He's doing his own thing on the side. He's running around. I think he comes off the IR in 4 games. We need him. We absolutely 1,000% need him. The team is nothing without him. I mean, we've seen it. 0-8 all time without him. We need him. 4 games. Now, is he 100% after 4 games? I don't think so. But I still think he comes off and he plays. And even if he does nothing.
Yeah.
I think that he just makes this team that much better. All right, I think we're going to wrap things up an hour. Any last thoughts, anything you want to say? We will definitely be having you on at more points during the season.
Is it a weekly thing?
Weekly show. Every Monday after every game. I'm going to do every Monday at 8 p.m. roughly. I might change the
What are
time.
you
I
gonna
don't
do
know.
when the Steelers play?
I'm thinking I like 8 p.m. I want to, post a video before game day, giving my thoughts, what's going to happen, takeaways, and then the night after the game, I want to, obviously after the game, I'll always be live on Instagram, but I want to do after the game, do like a video drawing out my general thoughts, things that we're doing, things that went well, things that didn't go right, because there are a lot of things that don't go right clearly right now with this football team. Yeah, we're looking forward to it.
Well, thank you, Joey. My last word is going to be happy Mink. Happy Mink Monday, Joey.
Happy Minka Monday to everybody in chat. It has been
this week's first Kenny.
It's gonna be, guys. Wait for Sunday. Bad news for the Buffalo Bills. Kenny Pickett woke up this morning. Get hyped. I'm hyped. Tweet it out. It'll be fun. I can't wait. But I appreciate everybody stopping by. It's been unreal. We had 20 viewers the entire time. 20 viewers. That's insane. First episode. The whole video will be put up here, right after the stream. But I appreciate you guys all stopping by. Next week we will be live. This same time, same place. Maybe. No, we might make a mean irregular. We'll have to see. But anyways, guys, I appreciate everybody stopping by. And as always, go Steelers.
Go Steelers. See you guys.